Well, Craig, first of all, let's start with the Europa League final. First European trophy for Brennan and Bellamy. You must be delighted for the two of them.
Yeah, of course. Incredible feat. Um, and in Ben's situation, well deserved. He's had a couple of close calls as well. Um, and also Brennan having an influence on the game is, it's huge for us. But for the both of them, big congratulations as well. We're all definitely so proud of them. But it was, we all watched it as well, and we were all over the moon.
How much of that is a positive as well, them coming into these upcoming matches on such a high as well?
Yeah, no, of course, it's always a positive. But also as well, we're always aware, like we're players with who've had one or two not the best experiences in the season. It's international is completely different. What we do and how we work. It's the focus on that, and they've definitely showed that. In the 8 games I've been involved with. So brilliant professionals, and delighted that club-wise they were able to get that, but into camp as well. They play a big part of the team, and that's hopefully they're able to maintain that, which they will do. It won't be a problem.
And this is your first time, back with the squad since Kazakhstan and North Macedonian.
Yeah.
How have the preparations been over the last few months, and has it been a busy time for you?
No, it's usually quite busy anyway. Yeah, I would always say I definitely keep myself busy, but yeah, it's been you look at the games back as well. I was delighted with the 2 games. I would have liked the result to be better against North Macedonia. Just watching the game back and the reflection of the game, I believe we could have took more from that. But at the end, how it worked out, of course, then you're grateful and happy with the point. But it was good for us because we came across 2 back fives and we haven't had that, so it was nice to be able to use different systems, expose ourselves to that, which gives us a very good library to keep digging into as well. So yeah, it was really positives, but you're always looking ahead and being really looking at this camp, and then in 10 days time we get together for 2 important games.
And this camp now, we've been here a week, started off in Cardiff, now in Spain. How's it been?
Yeah, no, it's been good. It's really important, and it gives because we have a lot of players as well who weren't here or weren't part of the first period, especially the French boys playing in France as well. So the Premier League players won't be here. So it gives us an opportunity to have a look at the young players coming through, especially from the 19s as well, who are very, very strong. And that's been really nice because, I've been really impressed by them, I have to be honest.
And this time of the international sort of period is quite a strange one at times because you've got players at different points of their season.
Yeah.
It can be a bit of a challenge. Now, how have you prepared for that? It's the first time you going into a junior international window?
No, it's look when the players who play in the EFL, the international window is not particularly, especially in June, designed for them. Premier League and a lot of teams in Europe play later, so they just switch over then from when that finishes. Maybe they might have a week's rest and then internationals. But if you look at how say the Championship, for instance, goes, but of course the EFL and Hall, it could be a 4 month. You can't have a 4 month off and then come into these type of internationals. It's impossible. It's impossible. So the players are fully aware they need this period as well. So we need to get the work into them because we need to prepare them for 2 really important games. So they fully understand that, but also with young players as well, they have a responsibility to look after the next generation coming through, and they embrace that as well. And they've been brilliant help with me on that, because that's an important part when you have the shirt, and me in this role right now is what do we leave behind? Who do we leave? What do we leave the position for the next person? Can it be better than what I had? And I was lucky. I feel I've inherited a real good group. But can I make it even better for the next person who comes in and the younger players coming through? So we have a realistic chance of qualifying for major tournaments every 2 years.
You spoke there, you know, several of the players involved just finishing the championship. There's been some highs and some lows for some of the individuals there, but the fact they're here, they're wanting to be here in the environment. I mean, how important is that for you? And I know it's a great boost for everyone.
Yeah, I of course, but we shouldn't have to thank them for, you know what I mean? You're representing Wales. This is like, it's an honour. And they're like that anyway, so it's you know, I don't believe we need to applaud them by coming in, thanks for your effort. You know, it's literally like, you know, we're here because we want one goal, and that's to get to a major tournament. But we have to work. And simple fact is, they all know that that's where they've got to where they've got to. They understand anything worth having has to be hard. It has to be hard work. So this is just part of it. You know, we have to come in this period to prepare ourselves for the next two important games, and it has to be the case.
Mm-hmm. And what you've got as well is the younger players that have come in. You know, they're on the pathway, but you know, 21s, 19s tend to clash with the seniors. So is this the first time you've been able to see them properly, and have you been impressed?
No, I've seen them. I've seen them, and I've been aware of a lot of them. But it was good because I was able then to pick the ones I wanted for this camp, and I wanted to have a look over. And yeah, I've been really impressed. And it's what's important is that we're able to give them firsthand of what we do and what it takes to play for us, and the habits you need to have to be part of what we do. So I'm not doubting their ability, but it's the habits that make that ability come to the forefront. And to play for us and our team and our structure, you have to have incredible habits. So that's been I'd like to think enjoyable for them, because they've got to see what that's about, and hopefully it leads them in good stead for years to come playing for Wales.
And with that, is that, you know, the habits and level of detail something you'd like to see then trickle across the squads then, and the environments they'll be involved with over the next few years?
Yeah, of course. That's not my remit, if I'm being honest. It's not like we have people in charge for and who oversee that, which is great. But it's what I believe brings success for a team. What I see in teams that have success, that's the bit I want us to look like, and I would like a team that I'm involved with to look like. So you know, I believe that's what's probably give us more satisfaction over this period. How quick we've been able to use that. You know, and they might be little bits, but they're really big. You know, when we talk about chest over knee when we're looking to press, it's showing intent, not turning your back on the ball, making sure we all work back together. So you're cramming the pitch, so you make it tight. That has to live in the team, and I believe then, when you have the ball, then which hopefully you have it a lot more because your reactions are really quick. That allows you to be a really good team, and they're all parts what I look for in a team. When I watch an opposition team, they're the bits I look for. Is a player waving hands, and because it shows there's no discipline. I like to believe the number of games I've seen with Wales over the last, especially the last 8 games I've been involved with, I haven't seen anything negative. So can we keep improving that, and can we keep giving that to younger players, because I believe that gives you a better chance.
There was a call-up as well for Connor Roberts, the Cymru Prem TNS keeper. Talk us through that decision.
No, I was. I read an article from him that he was retiring. And honestly, I felt he spoke really well in the article. I've liked him from afar, of course, as well. You can see his presence, and even watching TNS in Europe as well this year. But we had David Harrington pull out, and of course we could have gone numerous options, but I just felt like if he's going to retire, I believe he deserves this opportunity, and what a nice way to be able to give someone the opportunity of being involved with an internet, even if it's a training camp, that he's given a lot of service to Welsh football and a positive impact as well. It's the least, and I feel quite proud for doing it. Makes me feel happy, if I'm being honest. And even speaking to him on the phone before it, like, look, would you like to come down? It was the right thing to do, and I've loved him being here as well. Like, what a brilliant person as well, and the help of someone who's had a different pathway to a lot of the players. Like especially our senior players, but even young players as well. What the messages he's been able to give them, and the voice and the words of advice he's been able to give them as well has been really powerful. I couldn't be any happier with him, I have to be honest.
And then finally, I think, back in March is your first experience of, a sellout crowd in the Cardiff City Stadium, on track for a full house against Liechtenstein again. And how important is that fan base, and, going into these next two games, having the support in the stadium?
Yeah, it just creates, like I would expect, like I did against Kazakhstan, also Liechtenstein, full house brings more pressure. People expecting you to win, they turn up expecting you to win, and I love that. And I believe the players need that, because not for motivation or anything like that, expectation, be comfortable with being uncomfortable. A lot of people, you'll see, I've seen it have a negative impact on certain players, not that I've coached, that I've been involved in the years of football. And I want us to be so comfortable with it. We were expected to win. That's why everyone's here. And we got to go out and perform. So, even the games I try to pick in friendlies as well, I want pressure situations. I believe that's how we improve. So more crowd puts us under the spotlight a lot more, but allows us to really become the nation that we believe we are. We're a big football nation, and those moments give the opportunity to show it as well.
Brilliant. Diolch yn fawr, Craig.
Diolch.